Okay, good morning, everybody. I'd like to call to order the Tourist Development Council meeting for June 12th, 2020. At this time, could we please rise for the invocation and pledge?
O merciful Creator, your hand is open wide to satisfy the needs of every living creature. Make us thankful for your loving providence and grant that we, remembering the account that we must one day give, may be faithful stewards of your good gifts. Amen. To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, good morning, everybody. Thanks for being here today for another virtual meeting. And before we I do want to take a second and welcome our newest TDC member, which is actually the City of Zephyr Hills. The City of Zephyr Hills is Councilman Ken Burgess. Welcome, Councilman Burgess. I've known Councilman Burgess for a number of years, and he's been doing great things for the City of Zephyr Hills for a long time. And if you're not aware, Zephyr Hills is on the move right now. A lot of new development. They also have the new tennis center that's being finished up right now, which we know is going to bring a lot of great things to the area. So, Councilman Burgess, if you're there, I want to welcome you. I think you're on mute. Okay, well, we'll get back to Councilman Burgess. There we go.
Well, I hear you now. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate your invitation.
Happy to have you. So with that, we'll go ahead and let the clerk call roll, please.
The Honorable Ken Burgess Jr.
Here.
Mike Kidd.
Here.
Judy Sutton. Judy Sutton.
I'm looking at her. She's there. You can. There she is. She's waving.
She's here. Thank you. Robert Reilly.
Here.
Wendy Longman.
She's there.
She's there. Okay, thank you. Greg Linners.
Here.
Mike Bishop.
Here.
And Chairman Mike Moore.
I am here. Thank you so much. And just a little housekeeping. If I could ask everybody really quick to mute your microphones for me. Just mute your microphones. And just as another reminder, what we'll do today, I'm getting a lot of feedback. I don't know if you guys are hearing that. What we'll do again today is for motions, name yourself when you make the motion, i.e. Mike Moore makes the motion. Whoever seconds it, Mike Moore seconds. And then we do a roll call for every vote. And as we did last time, I'm going to need our county attorney to go ahead and read it's not on the agenda, but I need her to go ahead and read the policies for today.
Hold it down. Okay, good morning. Elizabeth Blair, Pasco County Attorney's Office. On March 20th, 2020, Governor DeSantis issued Executive Order 2069, which has been extended by Executive Order 2139, which suspended any Florida statute that requires a quorum to be present in person or requires a local government entity to meet in a specific public place. The order allowed the Tourism Development Council to meet virtually utilizing communications media technology. A detailed advertisement was run in the Tampa Bay Times indicating the council's intent to conduct a virtual meeting. Even with Executive Order 20-112, the governor's safe, smart, step-by-step order, large gatherings of over 10 people are not permitted to congregate in any public space that does not readily allow for appropriate social distancing. Based on this, the conduct of a regular meeting would certainly not meet the spirit or intent of the order. The process has been established for the use of technology to proceed in a manner so that the meeting is like an in-person meeting as much as possible. The public is being afforded an opportunity to make public comments either in writing or by the use of the communication technology that has been provided. The Pasco County Board of County Commissioners adopted Resolution 20-118 on April 21st, 2020, establishing the procedural rules for virtual meetings such as the one being held today. As with any meeting that you take action, you are requested to take public comment on any proposition before the council pursuant to Section 286.0114 Florida statutes. I am available for any questions. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, Ms. Blair. And with that, do we have any public comment today?
No, sir.
No, sir. No public comment at this time.
Easy enough. Then we'll move on to C, approval of the minutes for May 27th. I'll entertain a motion to approve those minutes.
Greg Leonard's motion to approve.
Wendy Longman, second.
I have a motion by Greg Leonard and a second by Captain Winnie Longman. Madam Clerk, please.
The Honorable Kenneth Burgess Jr.,
Yes, I approve.
Mike Kidd, Mike Kidd,
Here, aye.
Judy Sutton, Judy Sutton,
She's putting her hand up to the yes. We'll
thank
count.
you. Robert Reilly,
Robert Reilly, aye. Yes.
Wendy Longman,
I approve.
Greg Leonard,
Aye.
Mike Bishop,
Aye.
and Chairman Mike Moore.
Aye. Motion passes. Thank you. So moving on with presentations and funding requests. First one is Wiregrass Ranch Sports Campus of Pasco County. We have an update. And I'll throw it to Adam real quick, and you can make introductions.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Richard Blaylock is with us, I believe, today with Rad Sports. He is the president and CEO, and we're providing an update about the construction progress of the Wiregrass Ranch Sports Campus of Pasco County and the programming and bookings that is currently on the schedule. It is important to note that some of the events booked by Rad Sports have been brought by the DMO, but we are collectively partnering together with Rad Sports to see the events go off and to bring the most economic impact and yield to Pasco County. With that, I will turn it over. Oh, Anthony will be our Richard today. So good morning, Anthony. I'll pass it on to you.
Good morning. Can everybody hear me okay?
We can. Go ahead, Anthony. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. Actually, we're pretty excited. Last week, we had our full team on board. So all of the full-time directors for each one of the sports is now on board. They're doing their onboarding and training as we speak. So the last couple of weeks has been really exciting for us to get the basketball, volleyball, cheer. We've actually got 2 cheer directors. We got really lucky, actually, that one of the major national cheer companies has been unfortunately forced to downsize a little bit, and they let go some really good international talent. We were lucky enough, actually, Consuelo yesterday got to meet with our senior cheer director, Matt McDonough, and he brings some real international experience. He has some local roots with local cheer organizations, and so we are fingers crossed, planning right now to host our first cheer camp on the July and the first 2 days of August. We just got the pictures from Ajax Construction. Construction, while it had a slight bump, is resuming. They're going full steam. So we're very excited. We continue to book events, meeting with stakeholders and event holders. Consuelo again yesterday met with our team and some of the folks from North Carolina and the Blue Star basketball camp as they are planning additional events, not only for 2021, but they're starting to see an appetite for even events this year as other states and other locations aren't opening back up as quickly. They view Florida as an ideal replacement for some of those lost venue locations. So all in all, a very optimistic outlook for us. We're actually very excited that we're this close to the finish line.
Great. Thanks so much, Anthony. We appreciate everything going on. I know that you mentioned the slight bump, but that was no fault of Ajax and no fault of you guys's. It's just unfortunately the time we were in. So, but I'm glad things have picked up and are moving forward. With that, let me send it back to Adam. Or Consuelo, do you have any other anything you want to add or any questions, and then I'll bring it back to the council.
So I'm gonna be provided an update in the sports section as for the events that we have booked with Rad Sports, and we have a request for a walk-on item about the Blue Star competition that Anthony just mentioned.
Yep. So we will do that at the end of the funding request, since it's emergency walk. Right. Any questions from the council for Mr. Homer? Any questions at all? No. All right, Anthony, we really appreciate your update. We look forward to all the great things to come, and thanks so much for the partnership.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.
All right, you too. Take care. Okay, everybody, moving on. So partnership with Tampa Bay Sports Commission for Super Bowl 2021. Adam Thomas.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Presenting today is a proposal from the Tampa Bay Sports Commission and the Super Bowl 55 host committee. And we're going to walk through this proposal together all the way towards the end. So bear with me. This is a pretty lengthy proposal. The cost is around $250,000, and we're going to walk through what we are receiving in return of our investment. So presented is the biggest event in America. Around 30% of Americans consider themselves to be avid NFL fans. Where all eyeballs, attractions, impressions will be on the Tampa Bay market, and we want to be a part of that. The Super Bowl brand surpassed $663 million in ads in previous years of events during the Super Bowl. Tampa Bay's opportunity. The Tampa Bay market has been chosen 3 different times throughout the course of the Super Bowl when it was inceptioned, and we are hosting another one again in February of 2021. The impact for our region is obviously the economic impact, the social impact, the worldwide exposure, as you're to see on this slide here, the economic impact. Game attendance, 70,000. We're talking about an economic impact of close to $450 million in local spend. That is around $502 to $608 per day per visitor. Hotel room nights, and this is where we're going to get a return on our investment, is the spillover effect, because Hillsborough County does not have 337,000 room nights in their destination. So the spillover effect is going to happen in Pasco County. It's going to happen in Pinellas and the surrounding market. About 100,000 travelers will be traveling through Tampa International Airport and PIE. The social impact of this is quite astounding. The community social legacy is an initiative for the Forever 55, with the Forever 55 Legacy Program, and that's Derek Brooks. Whoever's a Tampa Bay football fan knows who Derek Brooks and the Forever 55 Foundation is. And that is just one of the founding partners that is in charge of the Super Bowl host committee. So we talk about impressions on the Tampa Bay market and how the Florida Sports Coast and Pasco County can be involved. So last Super Bowl in Miami, there was close to 1 million viewers from 130 countries, with media exposure through 5,800 media outlets. That the Super Bowl attracted around 125,000 non-local visitors, over 170 million social media interactions, engagements, likes, shares, and was the largest data in traffic in sports history. Here's the NFL corporate sponsors. Just wanted to throw that out there. There are some big household brand names that are a part of this annual event. And we think about Super Bowl, we think about the game, right? But this is a week-long event generating a lot of actual events during Super Bowl week, where you can get fan engagement with current NFL players not playing in the Super Bowl players that are all playing on the teams, and then just interacting with the fan base itself at each event. So collaboration opportunities for the Florida Sports Coast. We have the business connections here in the local market, the Forever 55 launch, the host committee inclusion, the promotion of Super Bowl 55, and then obviously the overnight stays, which is going to give us our return. The public-private partnership between the Florida Sports Coast, Pasco County, and the other partners throughout the state. You can see the Florida Sports Coast, Florida Sports Foundation, their investment and commitment to this event. Hillsborough County, along with Hillsborough County, the $5 million, it's broken down by Visit Tampa, the Tampa Bay Sports Commission, the City of Tampa, and their in-kind services, and Hillsborough County TDC. Pinellas Tennessee is investing $1.5 million in this public-private partnership as well. There's about 96 partners anticipating that came along with the 2017 collegiate football national playoffs, and we, the Super Bowl host committee, and along with the Tampa Bay Sports Commission, is anticipating 2/3 of the overall host committee event budget coming in from private sources. So what they're requesting in their proposal is for us to continue to work to maximize inclusion of Pasco County room hotel inventory. We are going to work together collectively as a region to promote Florida Sports Coast at Super Bowl 55. And our investment to help offset the cost of expenses would be $250,000. Now, what we get for that is the promotional benefits. So we get an opportunity to put our collateral material, which we would have our destination guides and other collateral materials that highlights our attractions and some of our offerings as a destination in our media hotels, team hotels, sponsor hotels, as well as the airport locations as visitors and teams start to come in. We'll be a part of the Super Bowl host committee event. We will have a media center that will be located in the Tampa convention. We will have presence there with all of our materials as well. We will also receive a 20x20 activation space at the Super Bowl experience, basically on Radio Row, where all the fans and other media and other attractions and DMOs across the Tampa region and Florida will participate in that experience. And then we will also have a 10x10 activation space at the host committee media party the week of Super Bowl. Additional benefits, we will be recognized as a committee partner on the host committee website, along with Visit St. Pete Clearwater and Visit Tampa. We will have our own partner recognition on selected host committee social media digital platforms. And then also we'll be recognized at every single host committee partner event and private event. Inclusion on the digital and social and podcast side, which you're going to see in a second. We also get the opportunity of receiving 12 Super Bowl tickets, 3 Super Bowl parking passes, 12 Super Bowl pregame hospitality passes, as well as 12 host committee VIP tickets during Super Bowl week. Again, the sponsorship investment for Florida Sports Coast and Pasco County would be $250,000. That can be broken up over a 2-year period. And we also went a little bit further and through the measurements of this campaign for everyone's knowledge. So for social media, again, we'll have our own partner showcase series on each of the social platforms of Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and we'll also have Instagram stories from the host committee. We'll also have a grassroots social media campaign for Florida Sports Coast that highlights our county and our destination across Pasco and Hillsborough County. The measurements for social media will be monitored specifically by analytics, Twitter, .com and also Keyhole. It's a general metric platform that social media generates reports off of. We'll have our digital presence on the host committee website. And basically, this is going to be tracked by their Google Analytics as well as bit.ly. And then we'll also have an opportunity for podcast. So we will have space on their podcast platform, have opportunity to be interviewed, not only the team here with Florida Sports Coast, but local businesses and attractions and some of our destination partnerships. And you can just see the measurements of tracking. So we are collectively working as a team to come up with a criteria for the Super Bowl tickets. I'm going to go back just one slide. So the 12 Super Bowl tickets that will be distributed along with the parking passes and the Super Bowl pregame hospitality passes and the committee VIP event tickets will basically break these down into a way of promotion and a way of attracting new business for Florida Sports Coast and our partners in the next 3 years. So what we plan to do is take 2 out of the 12 and use them for a social media marketing campaign. And we are going to collaborate internally and with the Zimmerman Agency on coming up with that campaign that the winner gets to game day Super Bowl 55 tickets. And we are using 4 for our leads that will be generated from our meetings and trade shows and conventions. So if Helms-Briscoe, we want to attract a Helms-Briscoe group here for the next 3 years, 2 of those tickets will be dedicated to Helms-Briscoe if they meet certain criteria of room nights generated, annual visitors or guests in their group, economic impact, and return on investment, which is the tourist development tax and the sales tax and room night tax, or I'm sorry, the hotel revenue. So there are certain criteria that they're going to meet in order to receive these Super Bowl tickets with a provision. So hopefully we would be able to work with Elizabeth and the county attorney's office to come up with an agreement with whoever received these Super Bowl tickets. If they back out at any point at time after they receive the tickets, they would have to pay back the Super Bowl tickets at face value of $5,000 per ticket, so $10,000 back to us in return of not solidifying their events. So that's over the course of 2 to 3 years, and that's on the meeting side. And we're going to do the same thing for the sports side. We're going to use Consuelo's leads that she has generated and take those leads and see who would book with us over the course of the next 2 to 3 years, again, maximizing our return on investment and bringing in additional events to book business in a time where we need to book business due to the COVID-19 pandemic. This is the start of the conversation. I wanted to present this opportunity. I think it's a great opportunity to really push our brand out at a time when we have a captive audience of 125,000 visitors coming in and hitting a market, because we don't know who the 2 teams leading into Super Bowl will be, but we know we'll be hitting 2 markets, hopefully outside the Tampa Bay region. But it's a great opportunity. I know the cost is $250,000, but compared to what our partners regionally are spending, I think it's a good opportunity. So I just wanted to open it back up to you, Commissioner. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Adam, for that. And I'm glad you brought up I just want to obviously make it known, when it comes to the actual 12 Super Bowl game tickets, obviously as council members and commissioners, we can't obviously participate with those game tickets for obvious reasons. And they will be used for obviously marketing and sales efforts. Now, obviously the team's going to be there and with the committee days, I might join them for some of those to help network and stuff like that on some of the other things as a team. But obviously, these Super Bowl tickets, there's obviously rules and regulations and ethics things that we are going to make sure those are used properly. And so, thanks for bringing that up, Adam, for the record. I personally, I reviewed this, I reviewed it over and over again, and obviously that was my main concern, was that. And then obviously Adam had those conversations, with Elizabeth to make sure we're on everybody's on the same page with those. But obviously, great opportunity. Obviously, our investment would not be as much as Hillsborough Pinellas, but we still get to participate in a very, very, very big way, which can bring us quite a bit of exposure. So, I'll be in support of this, but I'll open it up to questions. Go ahead, Mr. Lenners.
Yeah, obviously we're still a little ways away, and in light of the whole social distancing situation going on, is there any type of insurance policy, if you will, or any kind of concession if some, if all of a sudden we have another outbreak and they have to downsize?
Yeah, there is. Adam, go ahead with that.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yes, sir, Mr. Lenners. We will have a pandemic clause in the contract with the host committee, and that will definitely be run through Elizabeth and the county attorney's office to sign off before execution. I had the same question.
Okay. Any other questions? Looking for hands? Anybody? Feel free to jump in. Okay. Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Mike Bishop makes a motion.
A motion by Mike Bishop. Need a second.
Wendy Longman, second.
I have a second by Captain Wendy Longman. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
The Honorable Kenneth Burgess Jr.,
Aye.
Mike Kidd,
Aye.
thank you. Judy Sutton,
He's waving her hands, yes.
thank you. Robert Reilly,
Aye.
Wendy Longman,
Aye.
Greg Lenners,
Aye.
Mike Bishop,
Aye.
and Chairman Mike Moore.
Aye, motion passes. Thank you so much. So let's go ahead and move on to let's do funding requests, and we'll do the emergency walk for that. So funding requests, the first one is the ZMITch funding requirements for tours Too Hot for Ice National Championship.
So Consuelo Sanchez speaking. Last Monday, TDC approved the first amendment with Too Hot for Ice for the tours Too Hot for Ice National Championships to be hosted July 2nd through the 11th. This agreement is a three-party agreement with Tours and CMITch, which represents the ice rink. Basically, we're ready to move forward with the event. We have already hosted, we have already 120 teams registered for the event, but when we were reviewing the agreement, working on the amendment to be presented to the Board of County Commissioners on June 30th, we found out another clause that needs to be changed before we can present to the Board of County Commissioners, which is basically funding to offset the technical changes and modifications that the ice rink needs to have in order to host the roller hockey event. So through the agreement, it was approved that $50,000 go to CMITch or the ice rink for those ice rink modifications. However, the language on the agreement requires that CMITch has to secure 3 rinks. Well, since the event has downsides, basically they're gonna be using just 2 rinks. But the ice rink requires the same funding level due to different costs that they have to incur because they have different expenditures for safety and hygiene measures that they need to have in place in order to be able to host the event. So basically, we're requesting another change to the first amendment to the sports funding agreement with Too Hot for Ice and CMITch, so we can provide $15,000 to the ice rink for the ice rink modifications during 10 days for this event.
Okay. Questions? Questions. Mike Bishop, go ahead, please. You're mute. You're on mute, Mike. You gotta pull yourself off mute.
Sorry, that never happens.
That's
So Consuelo, you're saying that it's the same cost for the 2 rinks as the 3 rinks now because of the additional cost that the rink has?
That is correct. That is correct. Not only that, but I think we mentioned this before. The ice rink charges about $120 per hour per rink for this event, when they could be charging about $400 per ice rink for ice hockey events. Since this one is just a roller hockey event, they really need to make those ice rink modifications, and they need to make up for the money that they're not going to be receiving for ice hockey events, so they can host the roller hockey.
Okay, so we're just moving it from the requirement of 3 rinks to 2 rinks.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike. Any other questions? Questions? Oh, I see a cat. That was the best. That was great. Any questions? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion. That was great. I'll entertain a motion.
Greg Leonard's motion to approve.
I have a
Mike Bishop, second.
I have a motion by Greg Leonard. I have a second by Mike Bishop. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
The Honorable Kenneth Burgess Jr.,
Aye.
Mike Kidd,
Aye.
Judy Sutton. Thank you. Robert Reilly,
Aye.
Wendy Longman,
Aye.
Greg Leonard,
Aye.
Mike Bishop,
Aye.
and Chairman Mike Moore.
Aye, motion passes. Thank you so much. Moving on, D22, Nike Tournament of Champions, Southeast Region, Consuelo.
So we're really excited because this organization, Nike Tournament of Champions, they host volleyball, lacrosse, and soccer events all over the country. They're scheduled to come to the Wiregrass Ranch Sports Campus by Labor Day weekend in September. We're working with them. You know, everything might change, but basically we're requesting funding for this event in the amount of $9,800 based on the room night projections. According to the event, they're going to be bringing about 48 teams from the Southeast region, which is really good because not only is going to be a regional event, we're going to be having teams from Tennessee, South Carolina, Georgia. So it's the first event in this area, and they have selected Wiregrass Ranch Sports Campus to host the event. Everything could change, like I said before, based on COVID-19, but this is going to be a funding based on performance. So we're going to be providing $12 per room night generated in Pasco County hotels.
Excellent. It's great to see people are continuing to want to book these tournaments. So, any questions? Any questions? Comments? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Mike Bishop makes a motion.
I have a motion by Mike Bishop. I need a second, please.
Wendy Longman, second.
I have a second by Captain Wendy Longman. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
The Honorable Kenneth Burgess Jr.,
Aye.
Mike Kidd,
Aye.
Judy Sutton,
Aye.
Robert Reilly,
Aye.
Wendy Longman,
Aye.
Greg Leonard,
Aye.
Mike Bishop,
Aye.
and Chairman Mike Moore.
Aye, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Now we have actually 2 emergency walk-ons, and the first one is a funding request. The second one, we actually do need to elect a vice chair. So I need a motion to hear the 2 emergency walk-ons, please.
Mike Bishop makes a motion.
I have a motion to hear the emergency walk-ons by Mike Bishop. I need a second, please.
Mike Kidd, second.
I have a second. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
The Honorable Kenneth Burgess Jr.,
Aye.
Mike Kidd,
Aye.
Judy Sutton,
Aye.
Robert Reilly,
Aye.
Wendy Longman,
Aye.
Greg Lenners,
Aye.
Mike Bishop,
Aye.
and Chairman Mike Moore.
Aye, thank you so much. Let me go ahead and with the, guys, let me go ahead and move the vice chair thing. And I didn't realize that was going to come up, but I was looking at the documents and I see that's vacant now because our past vice chair was Mayor Camilo Hernandez with the city as Dade City. So we do have to fill that spot in case I'm unavailable or an emergency comes up for myself. I do have to have a vice chair that I can obviously run the meeting. So I will start with, and I can't do this myself being chair, I will start with a nomination for a vice chair. If anyone would like to nominate somebody. Or if you would like to nominate yourself as vice chair, somebody else can make the motion. If you would like to, if you feel that you would like to take this on, again, your own obligation would be if I'm not able to make a meeting for some reason, that vice chair take over and run the meeting and obviously be briefed by staff before that meeting and on the process to run this meeting. It's very simple. I'm going to start just calling people out. Just kidding. It's all right. Come on, guys. Somebody just raise your hand.
I was gonna say I'm gonna put somebody on the spot. I make a motion to nominate Wendy Longman.
Beautiful. I have a motion to nominate Captain Wendy Longman as the vice chair. Can I have a second, please?
Mike Bishop, second.
I have a second by Mike Bishop to nominate Wendy Longman, Captain Wendy Longman as the vice chair. And did you want to say something, Captain Longman?
Yeah, I kind of did, but I guess it's too late now. So.
You okay with that?
Yeah, no, I was actually going to say if nobody really, really wants to do it, I would volunteer to do it.
Okay, well, we appreciate it. We know you really, really want to do it, so we appreciate it. So I have a motion and a second. If Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
The Honorable Kenneth Burgess Jr.,
Since Wendy volunteered, aye.
Mike Kidd,
Full support, aye.
Judy Sutton,
Aye.
Thank you.
Robert Reilly,
Aye. Congratulations, Captain Wendy.
Wendy Longman,
Aye.
Greg Lenners,
Sorry to put you on the spot, Wendy. Aye.
Mike Bishop,
Aye. Thanks, Wendy.
and Chairman Mike Moore.
Aye. Congratulations, Captain Wendy Longman. You are now the vice chair of the Tourist Development Council for Pasco County. All right, there we go. So, staff will brief you on, give you a little briefing here sometime in the coming week or two on what would need to happen in case I can't make the meeting. Okay. All right, moving on to the next emergency. I'm going to go ahead and bring that to, I think, Consuela, you're going to take that on too?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. So basically, we met yesterday with Blue Star Basketball. This is a really big girl basketball organization. They basically run clinics and observation tournaments for NCAA. And they have already scheduled 3 different events at Whitegrass Ranch Sports Campus, just as Anthony mentioned before. One of them is in September, the other one is on November, and the last one is going to take place in December. They just got an approval from NCAA to host one of the tournaments, observation tournaments, in August. So they actually want to host the event here in Pasco County. That's very exciting for us because basically we would open our venue with this event. It is unknown yet the number of teams that they could bring, but they're projecting something between 30 to 60 teams, girls basketball teams. We put this information into the economic impact calculator, and according to the system, they should be bringing about 1,500 room nights to Pasco County. However, just because we are still going through this COVID-19 situation, we are recommending funding for $5,000. And I want to mention that they're requesting this funding in order to move forward with the event, not based on room nights performance, but they want to use funding in order to offset the cost of the venue. So we have some money available in this fiscal year budget. Basically, we would like to provide funding for the August and for the September events at $5,000 per event. So that's the request that we're doing today. I sent the agenda memo with some background information about this organization. Pretty solid. They have been running events since 1981, almost 40 years in the market, and they're the largest private basketball organization besides AAU. So I think this is a really good opportunity. Next week, we're meeting again with this organization. They just got started a new segment, which is lacrosse. So we're going to be meeting in order to see the possibility of hosting lacrosse events next year in Pasco County.
Excellent. Again, it's great to see, well, I won't put it that way. It's not great to see people had to cancel and lose tournaments, but it's great to see that, Pasco County is open for business and to accept these tournaments that have to be, I guess you could say, rescheduled in a different area. So we're happy to be the benefactor of that. Any questions? Any comments? Okay.
This is Judy Sutton.
Oh, go ahead, Ms. Sutton.
Thank you. My audio today, I tell you. So I did have a question, I guess, or a comment regarding the room nights, because specifically, I know within the next few months with the COVID crisis, there has been brands that have mandated they can only rent rooms, specifically turnover every 24 hours. And I don't know if they have already looked into that with where they're going to be staying on some of these brands, because they're going to be very limited on the amount of rooms that they can get.
Yeah. That is correct. And that's a conversation that I happened to have yesterday with the event organization. And like I said before, they're projecting a lot of room nights. We're basing our funding more conservatively, so just $5,000. If we were basing our funding right now on regular room night generation, the funding for event would be approximately $12,000. So one of the requirements that we're going to have for this event, because it's not going to be based on performance, but rather we're going to be providing funding to offset the cost of the rental fee, is that they need to keep all room blocks in Pasco County hotels. Right now, just talking by the experience that we have had with tours to Hot for Ice, we haven't seen that restriction so far working with these organizations. We don't have anything major scheduled prior to this August event or this September event. So I don't think we're going to have a conflict to host the event and have the capability for these room nights in Pasco County.
If I could say, Rob Reilly, Mike?
Yes, go ahead, please.
Well, I don't want to speak out of turn here, but we are independent. We don't have any sort of plans to not let people stay longer than one day, so we could send them all to us if you wanted to. We got plenty of room.
Thank you.
Sure.
Absolutely.
We'll take anything we can get right now, so we don't have any sort of mandates on the top. So there's that.
Thank you so much. And just to be quite honest with you, last week I was reaching out to different hotels, including Saddlebrook, trying to find out what is the policy for teams that are coming from hot areas, because there's an executive order that kind of regulates or requires people coming from New York, Connecticut, and New Jersey to quarantine. However, after talking with several hotels in the area of Wesley Chapel, mainly, they said they don't have any kind of requirements as for quarantine for people coming. They cannot enforce that kind of regulations, but they have a lot of safety measures in place, like keeping a room 24 hours vacant before they can host another person. They can take temperatures just to make sure that people checking in are healthy. So I think it's safe for us to say that we can move forward. We talked with some of our legislative lobbyists, and they mentioned that it seems or is possible that these restrictions get lifted before July.
Follow-up questions, comments? Follow-up questions, comments? I'll pause for a second. Okay, seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Mike Kidd, motion to approve.
Okay.
Judy Sutton, second.
A motion and second. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
The Honorable Kenneth Burgess Jr.,
Aye.
Mike Kidd,
Aye.
Judy Sutton,
Aye.
Robert Reilly,
Aye.
Wendy Longman,
Aye.
Greg Lenners,
Aye.
Mike Bishop,
Aye.
and Chairman Mike Moore.
Aye, motion passes. So that should do it for the action items today. We're going to go ahead and move on to our industry update and reports. And with that, I'm going to let Captain Wendy take over for the rest of the day. And I'm going to watch. I'm just teasing.
I'm going to be your Gabby industry relations coordinator.
Please go ahead.
Sorry, I'm your Gabby this morning for our industry relations update. Just quickly, with scallop season right around the corner, we are starting to distribute our scalloping brochures to our industry partners throughout the county, especially to bait shops, restaurants near the water, downtown Newport Richey, hotel partners, and other water-related attractions. If you need scallop brochures, if you'd like some of the content or the collateral material, please reach out to us, let us know, and we will get you a stack. As previously mentioned, our destination guide has arrived. We are filling up the Visit Florida Welcome Centers up in the Panhandle. There's 5 of them, so we're sending 5,000 copies of our destination guide up to the Visit Florida Welcome Centers. And then also the Hurricane Preparedness Guide. We are it's hurricane season. We have to be prepared. The county has a great hurricane preparedness guide that we are going to be distributing as well to our partners, and it will be available on our website.
Great. Any questions? No. And did we skip Consuelo there, Adam, with the sports development update?
Yes, sir.
Oh,
I believe so.
Okay, Adam. You jumped ahead. E, please. Consuelo, sports event update.
Well, basically, it's a It's basically just a really small update. I already filled you in about the team's registration for tours to Hat for Eyes. And the other really good update, we have been working proactively, reaching out to all the leads that we have met before, at different trade shows. Amber Lake, our intern, she's been very instrumental in facilitating these conversations. And we have been setting up some meetings with Rad Sports, as Anthony mentioned before. Basically, we have a new event scheduled. Yesterday, we met with AmeriCheers. That's one of the largest cheerleading programs in the country. And they book an event for December. We also talked with USA Gymnastics. We're talking about hosting the event next year. The regionals for Florida. So that's very exciting. We're in conversations with Teammate Basketball, an organization that runs multiple basketball events throughout the East region in United States. So they're already looking for dates to see if maybe we have the availability to host them. And we're keeping different conversations. In July 29, we're going to be hosting Florida Volleyball. basically they represent USA Volleyball in Florida. So we are moving forward, working proactively in order to get a lot of events booked in our area.
Excellent. Any questions? All right, thanks for that update. We'll move on to Colby. She's going to do the media report. Colby?
Good morning, everybody. As of Monday, our scalloping ads or digital scalloping ads have been live for 1 month. And I'm really happy to report the following numbers to you. Based off of our Google ads, we've seen about 2,400 clicks to our website. That's about 14,000 impressions. Averaging click-through cost is $1.37 with overall 19 conversions. Those reports are astronomical in the best way possible. One thing we were hesitant about when we launched these ads and went live in May is we weren't sure how people were really going to respond to them. Were they going to be receptive to them? And our scalloping campaign has proved that people very much want to know about our scallop season and they're very interested to it. Also, in conjunction with our Google advertising, we're also running digital banner ads through Sojourn Expedia, as well as a Visit Florida retargeting. All three of those campaigns, we've seen 1.7 million impressions, 6,400 click-throughs, a click-through rate of about 0.37%, with a CPA of about $4. Again, that is really fantastic, and we have a lot of momentum continuing into the second month of our advertising. We will be continuing that advertising for scallop season all the way through to the end of the last day to make sure we are capitalizing on it as much as possible. From there, we will fully transition into our Get Back to Adventure campaign. As for social media, we are also running ads through there. I am thrilled to report that our first run of our video advertising, we saw 11,000 through views. That means 11,000 people took the time to watch our scalloping video all the way through. That resulted in about 2 cents per view. The value on that is phenomenal. We also ran engagement campaigns as well as website visits. And just to note, these campaigns are going out to about a 100-mile radius from here, again, excluding the 2 counties that aren't quite with the rest of the state in recovery. Website visits campaign reached 16,000 people. We had 370 clicks to our website. For our engagement campaign, we reached about 8,000 people with about 1,200 in-post engagements. Overall, we're seeing fantastic interaction, and we're really getting a good bang for our buck across the board on our advertising.
Hey, Colby, let me jump in real quick before you move on to PR updates. And it's great to hear that you guys are obviously really picking up your social media efforts and campaigns, and we all appreciate that, and things are moving forward. I briefly talked to Adam about TikTok, for example. Mm-hmm. You're starting to see, obviously, more and more people be engaged in TikTok, and I'm not going to mention the account or site or anything like that, but I have somebody very close to me that has a very successful TikTok account, being my 16-year-old daughter, and he's got 665,000 followers right now, and 16.1 million likes. There was actually 20-something million likes before that, but they had kicked a couple people out of their account. But so my point is I've been watching it very, very closely and what some of the other areas are doing, and there's definitely, being that it's the fastest growing social media platform now, and it's really, really hot. And there's some really, really cool things I think we can do here in Pasco County, because the engagement's worldwide. It really is. Not that all aren't, but it really, really is. And it kind of hits that different demographic. It hits the teenagers too, and young adults is mostly where it's focused. But you are seeing more and more, I would say mature adults like all of us, that are becoming more engaged with it too. And you think about the videos and the B-roll you guys are getting now, because I know you're getting more and more of that B-roll done. In these little videos, you guys could do some pretty cool stuff. And if you need help, let me know, because I've kind of got some inside track on what's working and what's successful or not. You guys have content now. If you're rolling one thing out a day, you could probably do pretty well with that content you have, because that's what they're looking for. They're looking for cool videos and stuff, and there's fun stuff you can do with it too. That could be, and it's not paid, and you're not paying for anything. There's no paid advertising whatsoever on that, at least not now.
You're hired, Commissioner.
Yeah.
TikTok's really definitely something. Yeah. Oops, I'm sorry, Commissioner.
Go ahead.
Chris and I have sat down and had conversations about TikTok, just initial conversations, and that was a couple of weeks ago before we really started to ramp up with all of these different videos he's currently working on. And I absolutely agree with you. You get a full minute of exposure, so that's a great way to tell like a really short story. And again, with our attractions, we have opportunity for really captivating videos. So we're definitely going to look to expanding onto that platform as he continues to roll out these videos.
Yeah, great. Because I think it's definitely a good opportunity, like you mentioned. I mean, you can put up to like a minute or so of content on there, which is pretty strong. So, all right.
Yeah, absolutely.
So moving on, PR updates.
PR updates. We hosted our Have One on Us event with Escape Brewing last week. It was a 2-day event. We did first responders and frontline workers on Tuesday, and then we did government employees and anybody who fell under the definition of essential workers on Thursday. Tuesday, we didn't have a great turnout because I think people aren't really in a drinking mood on Tuesday, just to be honest. Thursday, though, we had a remarkable turnout. We had everybody from nurses, fire EMS, Pasco Sheriff's Office, you name it. So it was really fantastic to see that community support and for us to be able to give back and acknowledge all of their efforts during COVID-19. Telly Awards, we drafted a press release to announce our wins, and I am excited to say that was not only picked up by the Tampa Bay Times, rip and tear, which means they literally took verbatim the press release that was sent and published it. From there, it was picked up from the Times on MSN.com, which put us in front of about 46 million different impressions. So that was exposure that honestly I had not intended, and was very thankful to see that we had that opportunity come about. We're continuing to work on our scalloping fam, which I think is still going to be a good event. And I'm happy to say that Visit Florida is working on sending us different fam opportunities as well as things continue to kind of reopen and get back to this new normal.
Well, hey, Colby, great update. Yeah. And again, congratulations on the Telly Award. So why don't we never really had time to discuss that previously. Why don't we, do you plan on doing more of that later, Adam? Because I don't see it on the agenda.
I can do it now.
Yeah. Yes, talk about what the awards you won and who, and talk a little bit about, as much as you can, maybe some of the competition that was beat out.
Always happy to brag about who we beat.
Yeah. But go
so
ahead.
I think we had mentioned it last week, last time we had our TDC, and I had just gotten the email saying that we had won.
Yeah.
And Adam and I were under the impression that it was a silver award win. Yay! Well, a couple of hours after the TDC meeting, I got an even better email from the Telly Awards saying that we won not one, but 3 Tellys for our Scalloping on Florida Sports Coast video that we did with JL Production. And we won gold, silver, and bronze. And if I were wearing socks, they would have flown across the room. I was definitely surprised. I knew it was a good video, but it was phenomenal. The Gold Telly Award win was in branded content, budget under $100,000. The Silver Telly Award win was in branded content for travel and tourism. And the Bronze Telly Award win was for campaign promotional. There were some big hitters. It's a national award ceremony, so we've seen us go against people from Nat Geo to there was an NFL team.
We beat the Los Angeles Rams
Yeah.
on record.
Yes. I believe that was the gold that we beat them in.
Yes.
That's awesome.
We also beat Alaska Airlines, Renaissance, which is a national marketing agency, to say the least. What was the other one? Branded content for video, for
Promotional.
promotional. Oh, so the travel. So we won for the category of travel and tourism. So we won silver in that. We beat out Visit Pittsburgh, tourism media for Yellowstone National Park, NDM Hospitality. We've also again beat out Renaissance. Beating out Visit Pittsburgh again, another big win for us. We were in a category with let's see,
I will say that at the e-tourism summit I went to in October, Pittsburgh was carrying around that video everywhere. And I personally have my own thoughts and opinions of it. And apparently the Telly Award confirmed my thoughts and opinions on it. So
we were in the category for the silver category. We were in the Newport Beach and Company. So they're the DMO in Newport Beach, California. Hawaii Visitors and Conventions Bureau. So obviously that's the DMO for Hawaii. Starlux Airlines, Matador Network, who we actually work with. We actually were in the same category with them as a silver award. So we were also in the silver category winners with Visit Britain.
Wow. Pretty awesome. Congrats, guys. That's really big stuff. These aren't dundies here, we're talking about. This is good stuff.
And what's even more exciting is we have what I feel is going to be a pretty impressive sports tourism video that JL is in production with right now for us. So we have future opportunities to just keep on raking them in. And Adam and I worked with Zimmerman to finalize and submit for Visit Florida's Flagler and Henry Awards. So we'll be waiting to hear back from that in the fall. So we'll keep everybody updated.
Excellent. Congratulations. Great work, everybody. Great work. So moving on from great things to having a conversation about how things haven't been so great lately, right? But there's brightness upon the horizon.
Yeah, time to bring the mood down. So let me go forward one. There we go. So weekly star report. So instead of giving the May report for the month of 2020, that report is coming in later on this afternoon. So I wanted to take the opportunity to actually break down on a weekly basis how the market from a lodging perspective, hotel lodging perspective, has been performing. And you can see that the occupancy compared to last year from March 21st all the way through June 2nd. And you can see the slow decline and from last year, but still keeping pace with the 68% occupancy. Now, this year, it was a dramatic drop off from March leading all the way into June. ADR, again, another drop off in where we were in rate from March 21st last year compared to March 21st this year, all the way through June 6th. The trend line is flattening, and we are starting to see a little bit of an uptick of where we were from back in March, but it's going to be a slow incline. Any questions on the weekly star?
Questions, comments, questions? Nope, keep moving.
So we broke that down, the weekly star report from the last week we received our report on occupancy from May 31st to June 6th. ADR, RevPAR, the supply, the demand, and revenue. So I want to really focus on the demand here. You can see that demand was at a negative 14.5%. You can see it progress over the course of the week as demand got a little bit worse, and hopefully we can start to see that trend change over the course of the next couple of months with some of our events that we're bringing in and with scallop season. Any questions on the weekly star as it pertains to rate, revenue, supply, demand, and RevPAR? Please keep in mind, this has no correlation with the tourist development tax, because the tourist development tax takes in all of the lodging tax on a regular month. But here's the market intelligence for the vacation rental. You can see the entire market, and the active listings hasn't changed, and the available nights hasn't changed, but the revenue has changed. It's gone down quite a bit year over year. Which goes into revenue. In May, this should be May 2020, we have currently collected $77,000. That's dropped $197,304 year over year. That's almost a 72% drop in revenue collections. Now, we received that number, the $77,000 number, yesterday from the tax collector's office, just to give the board an idea of where we're at in the collection period for May. We still have 3 more days. Our partners have until the 20th to remit their tourist development tax and sales tax back to the tax collector, which brings us to the year-to-date revenue. This time in 2019, we collected $2.1, close to $2.2 million. This year, we've only collected $1.7, which is a 18% drop year over year. We have not collected close to $400,000 year to date. Month-to-month comparison for the tourist development tax calendar recap. You can see again the dramatic drop off from February into April and into May. Our projections internally, Shelley and I have projected May's revenue to be around $70,000. It looks like we're going to surpass the $70,000 mark. We don't know where we're going to end up at. Any questions on revenue?
Anybody? Nope. Seeing none.
Moving into old business, the crowd control, barricades, and trailer distribution plan. I want to walk through the objective here in distributing the crowd control, barricades, and trailers to the organizations that is listed in the plan, which is the City of Newport Richey, City of Dade City, and the Zephyr Hills Chamber of Commerce. The history has shown in the plan on September 15th, the City of Newport Richey and the Newport Richey Police Department presented to the Tourist Development Council a request to fund 1,800 barricades to provide in crowd control and public safety at various events sponsored and held throughout Pasco County for approximately $183,000 from the tourist development tax. Moving into October of 2006, the Pasco County Board of County Commissioners received a resolution, and all the exhibits within the plan are attached. A resolution adopted by the 6 municipalities of Pasco County requesting the TDC to fund the acquisition of 1,800 barricades for approximately $183,000. The barricades will provide, again, crowd control and public safety. The City of Newport Richey and 2 other service organizations committed to providing funding for the purchase of the barricades. The City of Newport Richey provided $10,000 worth of funding. Rotary Club of Newport Richey provided $5,000 of funding. The Holiday Rotary Club provided an additional $10,000. Moving into the October 27th timeline, the county attorney's office for Pasco County provided legal advice. That exhibit is also attached here about the use of tourist development tax funds for the purchase of the barricades. According to the county attorney's office, TDC funds could be used from the TDT to purchase the barricades. However, it is also reminded that the county administrator that the TDC concluded that was not how the Tourist Development Council planned to use the tourist development tax funds. Just wanted to throw that out there in the history because that was the conversation that was at hand at the time. November 18th, the Board of County Commissioners approved the transfer of $85,000 from the brick and mortar fund into the tourist development tax, advertising budget to be expanded for the purchase of the 1,500 portable metal barricades to be used at special events that received sponsorship monies from Pasco County. The $85,000 was to combine with the funds from previously committed by the City of Newport Richey and the two other service groups for a total of $110,000. On January 9th, Board of County Commissioners approved the modification of the previously approved barricade purchase to use $10,000 for the purchase of 20-foot trailers to transport the barricades and authorize the purchasing director to buy the 1,500 barricades. Long story short, that was approved. With the current situation at hand, the Pasco County Destination Management Organization continues to provide barricade and trailer support to local events festival organizers across Pasco County. The event organizers can request barricades for the use of local functions to provide crowd control and pedestrian safety which attend these events. The procedures are as follows for the barricades. And I want to highlight this section here because this is a heavy burden on your destination management organization that manages these barricades and trailers for said events. So the procedures are: the barricades should be requested at least 4 weeks in advance of the event and proof of insurance and must accompany the application form. And I have to add that the certificate of insurance has to add Pasco County as the additional insured on the insurance. The applications form can be obtained by calling or emailing the Pasco County Destination Management Organization. It should also be noted that few event organizers submit their application form with proper proof of insurance to the DMO in enough time to adequately process the request. So meaning that there's only a few out of the large events and festivals that actually get their information in on time, which takes additional time out of your destination management organization's duties of marketing, promotion, and sales and advocacy in our normal business to administer the proper paperwork to get the approval for the request. On April 21st through the 23rd, your DMO conducted a barricade and trailer audit at both staging locations in Lando Lakes Detention Center and the City of Newport Richey Public Works Department. The findings from the audit are as follows. The Lando Lakes Detention Center, located at 1034-1 Lucy Doby's Court in Lando Lakes, provided 131 barricades that were staged in good condition with some normal wear and tear, and no trailers were presented at this location. At Newport Richey, the Public Works Department location at 6132 Pine Hill Road, 749 barricades were staged in good condition with normal wear and tear. But we did find 78 barricades that were either broken, unusable, or were not included in the 1,500 count, which I'll get to in just a second. So with that being said, the recommendation of the Destination Management Organization is to distribute the remaining 1,422 barricades along with the 4 trailers to the 3 organizations listed above based on historical barricade requests and annual events and festivals. Since the 78 barricades were either missing, damaged, or unusable for future events needed throughout the county, the DMO proposes to evenly decrease the number of allocated barricades by the count of 26 per organization. So the final barricade count are as followed, as you see on your screen. The city of Newport Richey would receive 974 barricades and 2 trailers. The city of Dade City would receive 224 barricades with 1 trailer. Zephyr Hills Chamber of Commerce would receive 224 barricades with 1 trailer. We are requesting that the Board of County Commissioners actions because they would have to approve the distribution plan. We are recommending to approve the crowd control barricade and trailer distribution plan as presented with a resolution to donate the remaining 1,422 barricades and 4 trailers to the city of Newport Richey, the city of Dade City, and the Zephyr Hills Chamber of Commerce. Again, our investment was $85,000 in 2016 with the 3 organizations, as I previously mentioned, providing $25,000 worth of funding, which brings us to $110,000 worth of total cost. And the cost of getting the barricades out of the destination management organization is priceless.
So, hey, let me just jump in for a second, Adam. Everybody, I mean, you heard, listen, we just took 20 minutes of our time to talk about barricades, right? So that's another reason why we don't need to be in the barricade business. What was done in the past was done in the past. We don't need to point fingers. Whatever happened, happened. But, you know, we're not, these guys aren't in the barricade business. They're not public works. So, I mean, I had some conversations with some of the people, and it seems like everybody's hopefully on the same page now. And I know the organizations and the cities can work together. If somebody needs more, they can obviously have the trailers. They can loan them to each other. And I understand there's no problem with that. So, I mean, you know, again, you know, this organization is not supposed to be in the barricade business. It's taking up way too much of your time. They'll be stored closer to home for everybody too.
Yes.
Yeah. So maybe questions or comments on this? Questions or comments?
Wendy Longman comment. I just want to say I'm extremely happy about this, that we're saying goodbye to our barricades, and this is probably one of the best things that could happen. So.
Yeah. Thank you, Captain Wendy. I should say Vice Chair now. Any other comments or questions, or can we just move this thing moving on and I'll take a motion? I'll entertain a motion.
Mike Bishop makes a motion.
Motion by Mike Bishop. I need a second.
Second. Wendy Longman, second.
Second, Vice Chair Longman. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
The Honorable Kenneth Burgess Jr.
Aye.
Mike Kidd.
Aye.
Judy Sutton.
Aye.
Robert Reilly.
Aye.
Wendy Longman.
Aye.
Greg Linners.
Aye.
Mike Bishop.
Aye.
And Chairman Mike Moore.
Aye. Motion passes. Thank you so much. With that, I apologize. 1 second here. Anybody have any updates? And then, excuse me, 1 sec. For Councilman Burgess, what we typically do at the end of the meetings, if we have time and time allows, we just kind of go around the table and ask if anybody has any updates. You being a city, for example, and some of our obviously members have some activities they might want to share with the council. Again, we don't take action on these items or anything. It's just an update. So with that, I will, maybe I'll just go around the horn, and it might be easier today. And I'll stop at the top left. Todd Kersey, you have anything? No, Todd Kersey, you're with us. You're Mike Bishop. I'm going to go from the top. Anything?
No, nothing new on my side, Chairman. Thank you.
All right, Greg Linders, anything?
Yeah, for those of you that are planning on going back out to shop, the shops at Wiregrass is almost 100% open again. So I think we're only down to about 5 stores still closed. So come on out.
All right, thank you. Robert Weil?
One quick thing, if I can just brag on ourselves for a little bit. We started a tennis tournament in which we partnered with ESPN3. The tournaments that actually, it's been going on for about 6 weeks now, but it's one of the first competitive tournaments that actually opened in the entire country since the shutdown started. We wanted to figure out a way that we could keep our players competitive, people something at home to watch. It's been really successful. We're getting over 3,000 views in Europe alone every day. I don't know what the numbers are in the U.S., but it's getting a lot of great feedback. We were on Bay News 9 about 2 weeks ago. I don't know if you might have seen the story, but it's been a pretty cool thing for Saddlebrook to be able to do and help out. And considering we're the sports coast, it's all on brand.
Excellent. That's awesome news. Yeah, and I'm very aware of that. So you guys are doing great. That's great news.
Thank you.
Judy Sutton, anything on your side?
I'm proud to say our quality in Newport Richie since Memorial Day weekend. We've been doing 100+ rooms a night, so it's definitely coming back online. It's fantastic.
Wow.
I've also taken a new position with my hotel management group, so now I am the director of financial performance, and I'm not just a regional director anymore.
Oh, congratulations on that.
Yeah, it's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Good deal. I don't know, captain, vice chair. I mean,
Actually, there's a lot going on West Pasco. Winsome Charters is a state contracted vendor with the state of Florida for Anklet Key. If there are some smaller partners, and I really want to address Adam and Colby and the department on this, if there are some smaller partners that need some assistance on the best practices, my company is required to follow DEP guidelines, and I do have all those guidelines that have been sent to me by the DEP, and I'd be happy to share and go over with any of our partners, as well as all the signage that I've received. Also, Widow Fletcher's will be opening probably within the month. If anyone would like a personal tour of the restaurant, please let me know. I know the owners would be very happy to show you around. Excuse me. Also, I'm really proud of the fact that Winsong Charters has instituted a new online reservation system. It's instant real-time reservations, and we have gone completely paperless and touchless electronic contracts. And the last thing, as vice chair, does this mean I have to dress up and I can't wear polos, chinos, or khakis?
I think you'll be okay.
Okay, thank you.
You'll be good. You'll be good. Councilman Burgess, anything from Zephyr Hills you'd like to bring up?
Well, first, I just want to thank Chairman Moore for the nice introduction at the beginning of the meeting. And Zephyr Hills is excited to be represented on the Tourist Development Council. And I'm looking forward to being a part of the team and getting up to speed. And next time I'll have some updates for you.
Great. All right, Councilman Burgess, we're excited to have you guys on, and we'll be even more excited to hear about some of those updates, especially with the tennis center coming up. A lot of cool things going on with that. So thank you. Mike Kidd, anything on your side?
Thank you, Commissioner Moore. Since we're bragging about Pasco County today and our businesses, our hotel recently won the Conrad Award, which is a huge Hilton award that only 2% of the entire portfolio of Hilton hotels win. So say out of 1,000 hotels, only 20 would win. So, and it's based on guest satisfaction, Hilton brand standards, and just overall excellence. So it's a big feather in the cap for our hotel. It's really hard to win that award, and a big feather for Pasco as well to show that we have these type of hotels in our county. So, and I also want to congratulate Captain Wendy. We're happy for you. So thank you for the time.
Thank you so much. Excellent. And no, I don't know if I'm missing anybody. Sometimes it's hard to see everybody in the boxes. So if I miss anybody, please speak up. with that, I've said my piece for the day, and I appreciate everybody, and we will see how we roll. We'll keep you updated for the we do not have a meeting actually in July, if I'm not correct, Adam. That's the meeting. Skip. We come back in August.
Yes, sir, you're correct.
Okay, so August we may be back live. Stay tuned for that. And with that, meeting adjourned.
Thank you.
Guys, bye-bye.